you could literally eat your way to lower cholesterol? I'm talking about your breakfast bowl, your side dishes. Today, we're diving into 8 amazing grains that can help you do exactly that, one meal at a time.
It sounds almost too simple, right? No complicated regimens, just smart additions to what you're already eating. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today, how certain whole grains can become your heart's best friend. So here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by understanding our opponent, cholesterol. Then we'll get into the secret weapon that fights it. After that, we'll meet the all-star grains. And finally, I'll give you a super simple strategy you can start using, well, today.
All right, let's get right into it. First things first, you have to know that not all cholesterol is the same. We're going to focus on one specific type, the one that can cause some real trouble in your arteries if the levels get too high.
And that's LDL cholesterol, often called the bad cholesterol. A good way to think of it is like this sticky stuff flowing through your bloodstream. When there's too much of it, it starts to build up on the walls of your arteries, creating what's called plaque. And that plaque, well, it hardens and narrows those arteries. That's exactly why keeping an eye on your LDL is so important for your long-term heart health. So the big question is, how do we fight back against that plaque? Well, the answer is actually hiding in some of the most basic, humble foods out there, whole grains. Turns out, they've got a secret weapon.
And that secret weapon? It's called soluble fiber. Now, don't just think of this as filler. No, this stuff is an active, cholesterol-busting hero, and it's found in all the amazing grains we're about to get into.
Okay, so here's how this natural defense system actually works. It's pretty cool. When you eat these whole grains, that soluble fiber mixes with liquid in your gut and forms this kind of thick gel. Now, this gel, it acts like a magnet, or maybe more like a trap. It literally grabs onto those LDL cholesterol molecules so your body can't absorb them, and then it just escorts them right out of your system. It's such a simple, elegant process.
Okay, time to meet the champions. The 2 most famous heavy hitters in the fight against cholesterol. Seriously, if you're going to start anywhere, these 2 are the absolute power players.
So what makes oats and barley so special? Well, it all comes down to a specific, kind of superpowered type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. Both of these grains are absolutely packed with it, which makes them incredibly good at that whole gel and trap thing we just talked about.
And you know what? The proof is in the pudding, or I guess the oatmeal. A recent study looked at people at risk for heart disease and found something pretty amazing. After just 2 days of eating an oat-rich diet, their bad LDL cholesterol dropped by an average of 10%. 2 days. That is a huge change in such a short amount of time.
And hey, let's not forget about barley. This stuff is an absolute fiber giant. It uses those same powerful beta-glucans to tackle cholesterol, but it does more. It also helps support a healthy gut. And on top of that, it's rich in magnesium, which is a mineral that's great for helping regulate blood pressure and keeping your heart rhythm nice and steady. Now, oats and barley are fantastic. They really are. But the world of healthy grains is so much bigger than just those 2. So let's expand our pantry a little bit and look at a few more powerful options for a heart-healthy kitchen. This chart really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? We already knew barley was a champion, but just look at bulgur and millet right behind it. I mean, these are some serious heavyweights when it comes to packing a fiber punch in a pretty small serving.
Okay, let's talk about bulgur. You might have had it in something like tabbouleh, but trust me, it's a super versatile grain that really deserves a regular spot in your pantry.
The really cool thing about bulgur is that it's basically cracked wheat that's been minimally processed. And what that means is it gets to keep its nutrient-dense outer layer, the bran. And that's where all the good stuff, like the fiber, is hiding. So you're getting way more nutritional bang for your buck.
All right, next up, quinoa. Here's a fun little piece of trivia for you. It's technically a seed, but we all cook and eat it just like a grain. And when it comes to nutrition, it definitely punches in the same weight class.
What I love about quinoa is that you get this amazing 2-for-1 benefit. Studies have linked it not just to lower total cholesterol, but also to lower triglycerides. And triglycerides are another kind of fat in your blood that can raise your risk for heart disease. So yeah, it's a total double win for your heart.
So quinoa is part of this really cool group called pseudo-cereals. Fancy name, but it just means they aren't technically grasses like wheat or oats. We just use their seeds the same way. This team also includes buckwheat, which is loaded with an antioxidant called rutin that's great for blood vessels, and amaranth, which is a fantastic source of iron.
Okay, but a quick note on the science here, because it's important to be transparent. For amaranth in particular, Most of the research showing it can lower cholesterol has been in non-human studies so far. So it looks really promising, for sure, but we're still waiting for more research to confirm those same benefits in people.
All right, to round out our list, we've got 3 more all-stars. First, there's millet, another one of those fiber powerhouses that's also packed with B vitamins and iron. Then you've got farro, which is an ancient type of wheat with this great nutty flavor, and it brings even more magnesium to the party. And finally, buckwheat, which we mentioned has that awesome antioxidant rutin linked to better blood vessel health.
Okay, we've met all the players, we know why they're so powerful. So now for the most important part, right? How do we actually start eating them? Let's get practical and talk strategy.
And look, this is all about keeping it simple. You could start your day with a classic bowl of oatmeal or even a quinoa porridge. How about making your salads more filling by tossing in some cooked farro or barley? That's a great one. Or maybe the easiest swap of all. Just use millet or bulgur as your side dish instead of white rice. Seriously, these little changes make a huge difference.
And that's really the main point here. You do not need to completely overhaul your diet overnight. Just by making 1 or 2 of these simple swaps, you can seriously boost your soluble fiber intake and start getting all those amazing heart-healthy benefits.
So it all comes down to this simple question. Your journey to better heart health can start with just a single grain with your very next meal. So looking at all these incredible options, which one are you going to try first?